Read aloud accommodations can be very helpful for many students. In fact, you'll find them specifically added to different students' IEPs or Section 504 plans, but they really are a universal accommodation that you can add to improve the accessibility for all of your students, especially in a digital, online, and continuous learning environment where we're not sure of who might be supporting our students at home, and the read aloud function might be just what our students' family or friends need to support their access to the Canvas content in order to help the student. So to add instructions that are read aloud to our Similes and Metaphors assignment in Canvas, I want to click into the text where I would like this video or audio recording to be present. So right now I've clicked into the beginning of Review Similes and Metaphors in the instructions section, and I'm going to enter down and then arrow back up. I would like my instructions read aloud to be presented right below the instructions heading. I now have the cursor placed properly and can click on Record and Upload Media from the center of the toolbar. This brings up a pop-up that would allow me to add computer audio if I already had a file ready to go, or from the upper left I can select Record and record new media. Because this is just going to be audio instructions, I am going to turn off my webcam from the bottom of this pop-up by clicking on webcam and say no video. And if I needed to, from the left-hand side at the bottom, I could also adjust my mic to another external mic that I might be using as opposed to the default, which is already selected. And when I'm ready, I could click Start Recording. I will note that I have copied and pasted all of the assignment instructions into a Google Doc so that I have a clear view of reading the instructions during this recording. Because if I go back into Canvas, you'll notice that this pop-up cannot be dragged around the screen, and therefore I cannot read the instructions in the background. I'm now ready to start recording, and once I click Start Recording in the center bottom of the pop-up, it will count me down and I will head out into the Similes and Metaphors tab. Instructions. Review similes and metaphors by playing this game and with the table below. Then choose and complete one activity. Definition of metaphor and simile. Metaphor, definition, a figure of speech that directly states a comparison. Simile, definition, figure of speech that makes a comparison using like or as. Activity choices, choose one. Though I didn't narrate it so that it wouldn't be a part of my recording, I have moved back into the Canvas tab and selected Finish in the pop-up. Now I have the option in the bottom right to start over if I'm not happy with my clip, or to the left in the bottom, I can title this. And I'll title it Read Aloud Similes and Metaphors Assignment Instructions before clicking Save. After the video has processed and loaded, I now have a thumbnail of a preview, which for an audio clip is just a grayed out rectangle. And at the bottom of that rectangle, I have a play bar where I can play the video. I can adjust the volume. I can also adjust the playback speed, which is a nice feature because some students may prefer to hear it at a slower rate while others would like to speed it up. And there's also an option for full screen if that makes sense in the case of something like a video. If I click outside of the video and then back on it, I should be presented with a pop-up for video options. If that doesn't happen for you, try refreshing your screen and then give it another try. I'm going to now click on Video Options, which brings up a right-hand sidebar panel that displays my title, and I could edit that now if I needed to. I have the options to display it as an embedded video or as a text link to open it in a new tab. I have some options to adjust the size. And lastly, but most importantly, I have some closed captions and subtitling options. In this case, my audio clip is a read aloud of the instructions that already exist word for word on the same page in this assignment. Therefore, this clip does not need captions. However, if this was an audio clip or a video clip that was adding supplemental information to my assignment, I would need to make sure it was captioned correctly. One way to do that would be to upload your video into YouTube, let it automatically caption your video, edit those captions, and then download the necessary file type. And in this case, Canvas requires an SRT or a WebVTT file type. I know for sure that SRTs can be downloaded from YouTube. You may find that your school has other options for captioning your videos or audio clips, so maybe reach out to your IT department. Once you have that file, you can select Choose Caption File at the bottom of the sidebar and find that file from your computer. I'm going to click out and say Cancel. I'll also point out that above the Choose Caption File button, you can also select the language of the video or the audio clip. And in this case, I will select English because this is in English, and that way that gets included in all the video option settings. Now that I'm finished, I'll select Done in the bottom right. I've now added a read aloud accommodation for all my students, which is a universal support. Students can choose to have the instructions read aloud, or they don't have to, or they can have them repeated as many times as needed.